Oklahoma Republicans have a new excuse on education. They say they spent more money, raised teacher pay, and still did not get better results. That sounds like accountability. It is not. It is an alibi. They cut too deeply, waited too long, damaged the teacher pipeline, weakened student supports, and then acted confused when partial repairs did not fix the system they broke. The question is not whether Oklahoma spent more after 2018. It did. The question is what Republican budget choices destroyed before then. Did the new money restore counselors? Did it rebuild the teacher pipeline? Did it reduce class sizes? Did it feed hungry children? Did it create real pathways into career tech, college, apprenticeships, and better jobs? On that test, the Republican record is dismal. After the Great Recession, Oklahoma made the deepest cuts in the nation to per-pupil state aid formula funding, adjusted for inflation. By 2017, that funding had fallen 26.9% below 2008 levels, nearly twice the cut in the next worst state, Alabama. By the 2018 teacher walkout, Oklahoma was down 28.2%, the largest cut in the country on that measure. That was not just a budget problem. It became a classroom problem. Those cuts did not stay in a budget book. They showed up in classrooms. Schools had fewer dollars to compete for teachers. Districts had fewer support staff. Counselors carried heavier loads. Rural schools had fewer options when a teacher left. Students who needed help with reading, FAFSA forms, Oklahoma's Promise, career tech, scholarships, and career planning got less support when they needed it most. Emergency certification was supposed to be a limited exception. Under Republican control, it became part of the operating system. That does not mean emergency certified teachers are bad people. Many stepped up because districts had no better option. But thousands of emergency certifications year after year prove something ugly. Oklahoma did not rebuild the teacher pipeline. It did just enough to keep schools open and teachers from quitting all at once. Republican leaders like to talk about average teacher compensation because it sounds better. But new teachers do not start at the average. They start at the starting salary. Oklahoma starts around $41,000. Texas is higher. Arkansas is higher. New Mexico is much higher. If Oklahoma wants more teachers, it cannot stay uncompetitive at the front door and then pretend the shortage is a mystery. Oklahoma's own Education Quality Office reported that traditional university-based teacher preparation completions fell from 1,707 in 2013 to 1,037 in 2024. Earlier federal analysis showed Oklahoma teacher preparation enrollment fell 80% from 2010 to 2018, the worst state decline in that analysis. Oklahoma City University became the warning sign, phasing out early childhood and elementary teacher preparation programs after enrollment dwindled to only a handful of students. Then came the retirement contradiction. Republican lawmakers wanted credit for raising teacher pay, but Senate leaders also proposed redirecting money that otherwise would have gone into the teachers' retirement system. They did not raid existing pension assets, but they did propose slowing future investment in the retirement system built for those same teachers. That is not a recruitment plan. That is asking teachers to help fund their own raise. The damage does not stop with teachers. Oklahoma Regents data show the share of Oklahoma public high school graduates going directly into Oklahoma colleges and universities fell from 51.4% in 2012 to 34.8% in 2022. That is roughly a 30% decline. This is not just an education statistic. It is a workforce warning. A state that weakens education weakens family income. Republicans often say not everyone needs college. That is true. But they use that truth as a slogan to excuse underfunding the public schools every path depends on. Skilled trades are not a shortcut around education. They are where education gets used. Electricians need algebra. HVAC technicians calculate load, airflow, square footage, and volume. Plumbers use slope, pressure, measurements, and geometry. Career tech is not less education. It is applied education. Oklahoma does not need another education slogan. It needs a working system, certified teachers in every classroom, Smaller classes where it matters most. Breakfast and lunch for hungry children. Counselors and career navigators. Career tech, early college, and public magnet pathways. Community schools in high-need rural and urban districts. That is what a serious turnaround looks like. Not a press conference. Plan. A serious first phase would not be a blank check. It would be a repair bill. Roughly $700 million could fund a real teacher pipeline, competitive starting pay, early grade reading support, smaller classes in high-poverty schools, school meals, counselors and career navigators, career tech and early college pathways, public magnet options, and community schools. That is not gold-plated spending. That is the basic infrastructure of a state that wants children to learn and families to earn more. Republicans will say that costs too much. But look at what Oklahoma already protects. A $275 million private school tax credit cap. Roughly $180 to $200 million from restoring the full gross production tax rate on new horizontal wells now that horizontal drilling technology is proven and incentives are no longer justified. A $200 million tax cut endowment contribution. And at least $50 million from low-return incentive reforms identified by the legislature's own watchdog. That totals roughly $705 to $725 million. The money is there. It is just going somewhere else where the returns are less than investing in public schools. That is the Republican budget choice. They protected tax cuts. They neglected classrooms. They inflated promises about growth. But Oklahoma families did not get the payoff in stronger paychecks, stronger schools, or stronger opportunity. When the beneficiary is a private school subsidy, a discounted industry tax rate, a future tax cut fund, or a politically protected incentive, Oklahoma finds the money. But when the need is certified teachers, school meals, counselors, reading support, career tech pathways, and community schools, suddenly lawmakers discover fiscal discipline. Republicans want credit for spending more after the damage was done. Oklahoma families should ask a harder question. Did the money rebuild the teacher pipeline? Did it restore counselors? Did it reduce class sizes? Did it feed hungry children? Did it build real public options? If not, the problem was not simply how much Oklahoma spent. The problem was what Republican leaders refused to build.